Welcome to another episode of Distilled Conversation. I'm Brian.
I'm Gavin.
And today we're going to piggyback off of our donut episode we did last time. And we didn't do a strict review on each of those whiskeys. So we're going to do that over the next course of the next couple episodes. We're going to work in reverse.
Okay.
Start with that Scotch that we ended with.
Okay.
And then work our way all the way to the Japanese whiskeys.
Like a plan.
All right. So since the Scotch is one that you know very well, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce it.
Okay, so this is what we got here. Okay, we got Ardbeg An Oa. It's from the Islay Island. Single malt. It's a little heavy on the peat. Not too heavy though, I would say. Not too heavy, but a little peatier than my buddy likes.
But this is a go-to Scotch for you.
This is a go-to Scotch for me. Absolutely. This is like
this is not the bottle that we partake during the donut pairing.
Oh no, I think this is.
Is it?
This is the one that with the donut pairing. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the specific bottle though.
No. I finished that off. Yeah, that was a wrap. So.
Yeah, we'll go into the reason why a little bit later on in the episode.
So it's got a lot of peaty notes to it. You know, this is what it is. Now, I suppose it's got dark chocolate, butterscotch, aniseed, and certain reviews say it has black pepper.
Yeah, because the box says what?
Yeah, the box right here. The box says black pepper and clove.
Yeah.
With the aniseed, butterscotch, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, aniseed, and butterscotch consistent with what everybody else thinks.
All right. And my Google notes, bold peat with a sweet, silky, and creamy note. The nose should have a rich, rounded, creamy toffee, butterscotch, aniseed, and sweet dates. A subtle fruit, kind of like an orange cake is what it says, as a hallmark, and some earthy, smoky tones to it. So,
yeah, I see in the notes it says milk chocolate versus dark chocolate. It says nutmeg instead of clove.
Yeah.
So a little
we'll see. Yeah.
But I will tell you this though. I really enjoy the nose of this.
It's got a great nose. You can definitely get the peat right off the bat in the nose, but it's not a peat that's completely offensive on the nose.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
You're not hesitant in trying this particular Scotch.
if you're going to drink this, you kind of should have an idea.
No, you should know what you're getting into.
Don't think you're a beginner and you just go to this and be like, oh, it's going to be happy times. You know, it's more of a...
But it's not... This would have been a better mid-range introduction to Scotch than I was given, because mine was in the mid-range. It was like a rolling. Which is way off on the deep end as far as a peated Scotch goes.
Scotch, yeah.
So on that palate, it says that it's the unmistakable peat hits first, followed by this says a sweet milk chocolate, but your box says dark chocolate.
Yes.
Cinnamon, black tea. I'm assuming that's kind of the spice aspect of it, and nutmeg. And then the finish should be a long, sweet, smoky flavor lingering with some subtle spice notes.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Now, one thing I will say, me and you and I have been drinking this for years. You're not as much of a peaty fan as I am. My suggestion is you take a swig and let it coat your mouth with it. You gotta kind of almost shock your palate with peaty scotch. Yes. When you drink peaty scotches and you're not used to it, it's always good to shock your palate the first time, because at first all you're going to taste is the peat, the smoky flavors. But once your palate gets used to it and you're like, okay, this is what we're doing now, then you can start tasting all the other things.
So kind of do what the classes kind of teach, which is, you know, put it in your mouth and kind of squish it around the tongue, almost as they like to say,
chew it.
Yeah. So.
All right, you ready?
Yep. As I said, the peat definitely comes forward. And you get those, definitely get, I don't get much of a toffee, but I do definitely get a dark chocolate. I get that, kind of right at the tip of the tongue.
You know, to start, it hits you pretty good, the peat. I'm actually tasting a citrus note.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like an orange flavored tea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting as much of the chocolate just yet, but that's my first.
I got it right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah?
Right on the tip.
Let's see here. I'm tasting milk chocolate, not dark chocolate. I'm tasting milk chocolate. And I got it just past the tip of my tongue, like the first third of it.
Mm-hmm.
Milk chocolate.
I'm definitely getting the fruit note. I don't know much about a date. I don't like dates myself, but I definitely get the orange aspect of it. The smokiness does definitely linger on the palate, but as it lingers, it does kind of mellow out.
And it's an Islay, all right. And I am tasting a wee tad of the salty, briny flavor. You know, so yeah, okay, I'm here with. Well, I've already stated that I do. You know, but you know, for somebody who hasn't drank a lot of it,
put that word there. So.
See, the thing is they aged this, I believe, in a Pedro Ximénez cask. You know, basically a sherry.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of those sweeter, tangier notes from a sherry cask, which I love, and I think sherry goes really, really, really good with peat.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
I mean, this is not at all offensive. This is very pleasant. Give your palate, like you said, time to acclimate.
Yes.
To the peaty nature of the Scotch, but once it's there, like I'm going on my third tasting, we'll add some water to it to kind of open it up a little bit. But I'm definitely liking it more and more as I sit here and sample it, because I'm becoming more familiar with that smoky nature.
Which I'm very happy about.
Yes.
I'm very, because you started out, you were like, I don't know, but now you've been experiencing a little bit more. Now I see you're actually, you know, able to differentiate the peat from the other flavors now, you know, a lot more now. So I'm very happy about that, so I can introduce some more peaty scotches to our show.
Oh yeah, no. I've never had an issue with scotches and scotches that do have a little peaty tongues to it. We will go on a flight in a later episode doing levels of scotch or levels of peat. But, I mean, from the beginning level, which I had that one bottle that we sampled, I'm going to bring for it on it. Almost had no peat to it.
What was that? That wasn't the, oh man, I'm very far.
We traded.
We traded. Okay, so then that had to have been, okay, you had Japanese, I had We'll have to go back and look at the taste, but there was one that had just a little bit of peat to it.
A little bit of peat to it. And then this would be obviously the next step up.
Right.
And to getting your...
Was it the Abla or Bunda?
I think so.
Okay,
so.
there you go.
That's
Abla
the case.
Yeah.
And that's a really good Scotch, but that's a very introductory into the peat. Because the peat is very, very subtle.
Yeah.
If it's there at all. You know.
Very, very.
This is not subtle. It lets you know that it's there, but it's not completely offensive.
Right.
And as it goes onto your palate. So.
Now I'm gonna add a little water. You know me, I'm really a Pellegrino guy, and that's how I do basically all my water. So I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna first just pour that out so I can get just a drop or two. So now that I poured out the first pour, now I'll go 1, 2, 3. I got 3 drops right there. And I think 3 drops are pretty standard.
Yes, I think that's what we've done on our previous ones. Basically, the water helps to kind of separate the oils from the alcohol, gives you a little bit different tasting, opens up the complexity a lot of times. It can also kind of mellow the nature of the alcohol that's present to make it a little bit more palatable.
I find sometimes the way that the water separates whatever chemical reaction it has, sometimes my first sip after having water is a little more intense sometimes because it's opening up so much. So.
Okay. And definitely calm down the feediness.
100%. Well, not 100%, but it definitely calmed down the feediness.
The nose is a little bit lighter. The peat's still there, but is not as prominently forward as it was straight up.
Now, is that because of the water, or is it because now you're getting a little more used to it?
Probably a combination of both.
Right.
Combination of both, but I do think that the water does help to kind of dilute.
Yeah. I feel like the water, as soon as I tasted my next sip, I feel like the water actually like smooths out some of the rough edges. So everything is like, it's like they're playing
nice with each other.
Playing nice with each other.
Nobody's trying to be king of the mountain. Everybody's
working as a team. Like the Knick.
That's right. All right, I'm gonna do a little cap full. Do a little cap. And as far as water introduction, that's about as much as you want to do in the grand scheme of things. You can add some ice if you want to kind of chill it down. There's a lot of people that drink their scotches and whiskeys with some ice, with a round ball or a square ball, or whatever.
Well, that's more in America. In Scotland, you might be kicked out.
Yeah.
Bring out ice, so just letting you know.
For water.
But really, even in the description on the box, it's best to drink your scotches at room temperature. Ice, what ice does is it mutes some of the flavors.
Yeah.
And if you're drinking scotch, you want to taste everything.
No,
otherwise drink something else.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, as I stated before, at most, your first drink should be as what the distiller intended it to be. Try it neat. Do this to what your palate finds pleasing. But your first drink should be, and you may not like it, and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
There's been plenty of whiskeys that I didn't like straight up, but introducing a little bit of water while it's stood on ice does open it up and mellow it out to the point where it does become pleasing. There's nothing wrong with that, as we've always said.
Drink it the way you want to drink it.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I'm just saying, like, in America, now, you could find your perfect sweet spot by adding ice letting it dilute down to something that you personally like. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that the masses, it's kind of frowned upon to put ice in, but I drink it the way you want to drink it.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple drinks that I'm not even going to put out into the public that I like that are totally against all rules.
No. The only rules that are ones that you abide by are the ones that you bring to your
Cadbury chocolate, right? Cadbury chocolate bar. It's kind of special to me because my wife, she would get a Cadbury chocolate bar to basically honor my relationship with my mother.
Okay.
My mother used to, when we were driving to school, when I was, I don't know, I can't even, maybe kindergarten, first grade, second grade, something like that.
Okay.
And she would give us a Cadbury bar basically to shut us up. You know, it was supposed to be for lunch, but it never made it for lunch. You know, we're in the car and we're driving and we eat the Cadbury bar. And that was always like a special moment for me to remember my mother. So my wife, on special occasions, would get a Cadbury bar to slip in a Christmas stocking or birthday or Father's Day. And I thought it was wonderful for her to do that. Then one day, I decided to drink a peated scotch. Whatever scotch I had on hand, probably it was peated. I drank a scotch with the Cadbury bar. I was like, wow, this works. This is delicious. So I realized that chocolate seems to go with peated scotches very well.
Okay.
And I know when you had talked, and you said you had a brownie recipe, I think.
Yeah. So on our donut episode, we talked about the chocolate donut was nice, but you made a mention that what probably would work really good with this style's peated nature scotch, especially with some of the notes that are brought forward, is a chocolate fudge brownie.
Yes.
So in connection to that episode, we're going to go ahead and I have some fudge brownies. We're going to see how fudge brownies work out.
I'm sure.
And then we're going to honor your mom.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move the scotch out of the way just a little bit.
Okay.
And so we have both fudge brownies. So all disclaimer, this is a boxed fudge brownie, but you can go online and find elevated recipes. So it has milk instead of water. It uses butter instead of oil, some cocoa powder, and a little bit of instant coffee to kind of elevate the fudge brownie. So we're going to go fudge brownie first, and then we'll finish off with the Cadbury.
Totally down for that.
So I did pull up pairing aspects for this. The instant coffee and the cocoa powder, the intense bittersweet base of the brownie echoes the black tea and dark chocolate notes for the palate. As far as the scotch goes, the butter and milk elevate the texture of the brownie, providing a silky mouth that mirrors the creamy texture of the whiskey, and then of course the smokiness of the peak cuts through the sweetness of the fudge, brightening the deep chocolate.
So how are we supposed to do this?
So let's see. It says take a bite of the brownie, allow it to coat your palate, and then finish it off with the scotch. So.
Good brownie.
Very good recipe.
Nice, dense. I love a brownie, I do.
A little bit better than that donut.
Oh, yeah.
The donut was a little dry.
I do remember that.
Like the Sahara.
Still not as good as that maple glazed donut and
Right.
the bourbon,
I agree with you on that.
but still great pairing. I think you're exactly
much more elevated than that damn
donut.
than that gosh darn donut.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, this is pretty tasty right here.
I'll bring the scotch in a little bit further. It definitely is a great pairing.
Exactly what they said. The brownie, you know, it's rich and things like that. The scotch cuts right through it in a good way.
Oh yeah.
Almost cleans everything out in a good way. I finish your donut.
No, for the brownie.
I said donut, sorry. Brownie. Really good.
Now, for the chocolate, the tasting notes are slightly different. Instead of eating the brownie first, you want to go ahead and shock your palate, get it ready for the chocolate bar.
Okay.
And go ahead and take a bite. Honor of your mom.
Yep.
Now that is good. Yeah, the dark chocolate just does something a little bit different than the brownie.
I feel like it works with the chocolate and the Cadbury, where they're working together. It doesn't clean your palate necessarily. It works with what's already in there. And it, I guess, shall we say, elevates it.
Speaking of elevation, what about those comebacks, man?
I'm going to assume you're talking about my Knicks.
I am.
Hold on. Before we, because we're going to talk about the Knicks, I'm going to have a drink. So,
I get it.
there we go.
A little small, little bit.
Little bit.
Again, we got two
Okay,
boys.
I got time before I have to drive anywhere, so. Anyway, hold on. One more of these.
So our conversation portion of the episode is honoring a home team that's been long overdue for a championship.
I need to drink a little.
And I know we're a little bit behind, but I definitely still wanted to do this episode because this is your team.
Yep. We're about a month out. It's okay. Because for the Knicks fans, if you grew up in New York, it don't get old. We waited 53 years for this.
Do you remember the last time they won?
When they won, I was too young to appreciate it. I was born in 68. They won in 73.
Okay, so you're
5 years old. You know, couldn't appreciate it. Well, I'm sure I heard it on the TV, but didn't even know what they were talking about. But I did experience when they lost to Houston. with Hakeem Olajuwon. I was in extra school at the time, and we had the ball, game 6, couldn't finish him off. John Starks was super hot. They gave him the ball for the last shot. I think Olajuwon might have tipped it or something like that. Olajuwon was just super. We didn't get it done. The game 7 we got our butts kicked. Fast forward a few years after that, we get back to the finals and lose to San Antonio. And Patrick Ewing was hurt. I think he had a broken arm or something was wrong with him that he could not play. Marcus Camby was there, Latrell Sprewell, I believe out of Houston. There just wasn't enough firepower to get it done against Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
Yeah.
Just not enough firepower. If Patrick Ewing was there, maybe, but Tim Duncan, David Robinson, the rest of the team they had, they were the better team. Now, if Patrick Ewing doesn't get hurt, the way the Knicks are playing on just grit, maybe, but we'll never know. He got hurt. So now, fast forward, present day, nobody gave the Knicks a chance.
No.
Nobody.
Going into this final, everyone didn't even think if they won one game.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
I mean, your biggest comment going into this final was what? How were the Knicks going to what?
Stop this guy, the alien, Victor Wembanyama.
Yes.
Yeah, he does everything. He shoots. He can shoot the three-pointer. He's not a three-point shooter. Big difference.
Mm.
He can dribble the ball. Not really a dribbler, but he can dribble.
Yeah. Well, I mean that distance.
Yeah.
is a.
You know, and he blocks everything within 7 feet of him. Everything. He's taller than everybody, and he can move. He's agile. You know, he's got a package.
Right.
He really does. He really does have a package. So I was worried about my Knicks. Like, how do we stop this dude? Well, there's a player on the Knicks. I'm not even gonna lie and tackle remember that name, but he used to play with San Antonio. And in trade, some of the trades that they got him. And he said, Wembanyama is everything that they said he is, but he gets tired. So, he comes out, he kills it in the beginning, but if you make him work in the beginning, in the end, he ain't going to be quite that alien presence.
I put up some notes.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the first 5 games, the Knicks never led coming into the half in the first 5 games. Going into
in 5 games, they never led one time.
Never led one time. No, sorry. Game 2 and 3, they led 56, 52, 64, 57. But going into the fourth quarter...
Give me 1 second. I'm going to just get a little bit of this Cadbury again.
Okay.
Forgive me, audience. Oh, yes. All right. Go ahead.
But going in, out of the 5 times they were matched up, only once did the Knicks lead all the way through from the half to the fourth quarter, going into the fourth quarter of the finals. Only once. Game 2, they led 56-52. Game 3, going into the fourth quarter, they were leading 84-75. And then, of course, the final score for Game 2 was 105-104. But at some point, going into the last 2 or 3 minutes, they were constantly behind. And what you said rings true. How do you beat this mammoth of an individual?
Mm-hmm.
You beat him by pushing and pressing the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
That was evident on Game 4. We'll get to Game 4. Game 1 and Game 2, although I would have loved to have watched that game, I wasn't able to. I'm going to go on a little rant here for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to go back to praising your Knicks. Because my rant is to ESPN. So, I have Disney Plus. Disney Plus includes ESPN. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the finals were on ABC.
Yeah.
Something you could get on your regular TV. You had to deal with commercials, but you could watch on regular TV.
You got an antenna.
You could watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But on ESPN, through Disney Plus, if you wanted to watch the finals, you had to get the premium package of ESPN. I am not watching WWE PLE, okay? I am watching...
Can I say this? Preach! Go ahead.
I am not watching WWE PLE where I have to spend extra money to watch these guys wrestle. I am watching the finals that you show on your regular station on ABC. There was no reason why I had to spend extra money to watch the game. But I did. I didn't spend extra money to you, ESPN. Let me make that frank. I went and bought an external antenna.
Yeah, I remember you said, "Oh man, screw this."
So mad. I was angry.
Yeah, he was hot.
And I watched Game 3 and Game 4 on ABC, where I could have easily watched it on ESPN and would have been perfectly fine sitting through commercials like I did watching it on ABC. But I found a workaround on Game 5. We'll talk about Game 5. Yeah. But Game 1 and 2, I wasn't able to watch. What I had to do in the morning when ESPN released it was watch the highlight reel of about 30-35 minutes of a 2-hour game. So I wasn't able to appreciate those wins, the first and second game in San Antonio.
Well, the Knicks, Jalen Brunson is the main guy. This is one team. He did not do it by himself.
No. But he did carry a huge portion of it.
Oh, yeah.
Going into that last quarter.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk about it in Game 4. But it definitely showed that the team as a whole had the stamina to press going into the fourth quarter, where the Spurs did not have the stamina to keep up with the Knicks.
I'll tell you what. Here's the deal. All right? Jalen Brunson couldn't have done what he did if the other guys weren't doing what they were doing. See, they could have collapsed on Jalen Brunson to make life hard for him. And he would have got some points, but not these 40, 30 numbers that he was getting. What happened was, all during the game, somebody was stepping up. Ananobi, Josh Hart, McBride, Cat, what's the other guy? There's another guy on the Knicks that's, forgive me if I can't mention them. I've been drinking. But anyways, all these guys stepped up so that they had to be respected in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
And in the fourth quarter, Jalen Brunson stepped up and attacked. But they couldn't collapse on him because all these other guys had shown
if he did that, he would just kick it out.
That's right. So the Knicks played truly as a team. Jalen Brunson a lot. I'm not sure if a lot of people know this. Knick fans know it. I don't know about the rest of the world. He took a $113 million pay cut. He could have got a max deal for Knick. He took $113 million less so that they could sign his group back. Other legends in Knick history have not done that.
Yeah.
Other people in the NBA history have not done it. This guy took way less money. Michael Jordan didn't take less. I'll defer, I'll whatever, but he ain't taking less money. Patrick Ewing deferred money, didn't take less money though. He deferred money.
Mm-hmm.
All of these legends that we all talk about didn't take less money. Jason Brunson said, "Yo, you know what? Have that. I'm still living good. I don't need every last dollar, but you got to take care of my boy over here. You got to take care of my boy over here. You got to take care of him. Do you need to sign somebody? I want this championship." Man, Jalen Brunson he is the king of New York, right?
And he stepped up. I'm a push on to Game 4 because I watched that game from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
And he stepped up like nobody's business in game. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Going to Game 4, they were still up 2-1. They had lost Game 3. They won back to back, and San Antonio came back home, lost the first game at home. Going into Game 4. Going into breaking out of the half, going into the second half, I didn't think they had it. They were down as much as, I think, 26, 27 points at one particular point in time.
Is that all they were down?
It was the biggest comeback.
I thought they were down like 29, 30.
27.
27 points.
They were down 27 points going into breaking out of the half. By the end of the third, they trimmed that down to 15. Now, I'll tell you what, I was watching the game. You could see the crowd, just the displeasure on their face. No, I'm good. You could see the displeasure on their face going into the second half. You know, because they would pan out the crowd, and they were not happy. You know, they came home for Game 3. They lost Game 3. They're in the Game 4, coming out of the half, and they're just getting their butts handed to them, as you feared what was going to happen. And then they get into the third quarter, and they're down only 15.
Don't call the comeback. Been here for years.
And then they get down to the last 5-10 minutes, and they're only down 10. And I tell you, they would pan to the crowd, and I mean, celebrities and Joe Blow alike are just all on their feet because they're witnessing history in the making, point after point after point.
And only the Knicks fans, well, actually the Spurs fans too, they saw what was happening. Knicks we're coming. You gotta stop us, but we're coming. The Spurs fans, they could feel they were never comfortable. Knicks fans were like, if we can do this, if we can do this. It's like hope but understanding, maybe not. If we can do this. Spurs fans were like, oh God, we are not secure. Knicks fans were like, if we can do
I think Game 4 is when they found the cheat code for Game 5.
Okay.
Because Game 4, they realized if they can hold it together, even if they're behind, going into the fourth quarter, and at that particular point in time, start pressing the Spurs as if it was the first quarter, then they had a chance to come back and win. that was proven in Game 4, because that entire fourth quarter, there was no give up in that. It was just push and push and push and push and push and push and push, to the point where I don't think it was Game 4. It was one of the earlier games, but Game 4 you could also see some frustration on the Spurs side, some frustration in Victor. You saw it in the Game 1 or Game 2 when he was pushing.
I'd say I saw it, frustration in Victor in Game 5, because he tried to do too much in Game 5. First half, he was all over the place. He says, I can't lose. I've got to fight.
Well, the team went away from what worked in the previous series leading up to the finals.
Well, some people might say nothing worked.
Nothing worked. I mean, they had a plan, but what does Mike Tyson say? Sorry. Mike Tyson says everybody has a plan until they get hit.
No. Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. When you get rocked, all of a sudden all that stuff goes out the windows, and right there, you hit it on the nose. You hit it on the nose.
They had a plan, but they didn't plan for fourth quarter hard press.
Yeah.
And the team was a good team. The Spurs team was a good team. But going into the fourth quarter, they just did not have the wind to keep up. I don't know if the Knicks just decided that year that they were going to become marathoners and get their wind up so that they could push hard in the fourth quarter.
I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, the Spurs were a great team.
Oh, they were a great team.
And I believe, I'm going to tell you, I'm a Knicks fan. I believe they actually probably, if you had a meter or a measurement for all the talent, I think the Spurs actually had more talent. But the Knicks had a mindset. We are one. We're sticking with the game plan. Win, lose, or draw, we are going with the game plan. Spurs, because of their, the Spurs are a super young team. I mean, they got a bunch of rookies, a bunch of younger players, guys who have never really been in that situation before. Their inexperience showed. Now, here's the thing. I think a lot of people know, but maybe some people don't. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, a couple of these guys, they played together for years in college. They know each other. There's a bond that they got back and forth. They're like, yo, I got your back, you got mine, whatever. It's like they felt like, however this goes down, we're together. And I think that was the difference. So when they got down, they're coming back in the fourth quarter, they're looking at each other like, yo, just a few more points. Get those few more points. Okay, I think we're there. A few more points. Okay, now it's showtime. The Knicks played like a team. That's why, how do I say it? You can have all the talented players on a team. You can assemble an all-star roster. But if you get a team that's playing together for enough time, and they have good players, not great players, good players, and you get an all-star roster that hasn't been playing that long, that good team is probably going to win.
Yeah, I mean, they know each other, they trust each other.
Trust, yeah.
I mean, in Game 5, so Game 5 occurred right before I was supposed to go to work on Saturday. So I'm going to be honest with you, I completely forgot about Game 5 until I was laying down in my bed, and I was like, oh crap, Game 5 is occurring right now.
Uh-huh.
Now, if I would have remembered this for Game 1 and 2, maybe I would not have been as mad as he was. But I was like, I wonder if through iHeartRadio I can pull up the game. And I did. So through iHeartRadio, I was listening to the game. I was into the fourth quarter. On my phone, I was watching the game, which was kind of weird because the cinematics was showing the points, and then I was hearing the points, and then I was reading the points. You know?
Right.
So I was seeing somebody make a 2, and then I was hearing them call out, you know, the play that corresponded with, you know, that 2 points, and I would see it pop up on the screen. And as I was watching, I was listening to it and watching it and going through it, and they're down. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's going to go to a game 6. And then as I'm listening more, my brain is remembering the previous game that occurred 3 days prior in New York when they were down. And I was like, they may just come back.
They may just come back.
And I normally go to bed at a particular hour. Can I tell you I was tired that next morning? Because I'm still listening to the game. My wife's going, hey baby, don't you have to go to work tomorrow? I do. But I'm listening to the game because the Knicks are coming back again. And when they won at the end of Game 5.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
I sent you a message. And I said, congrats, man. That's all I sent you, congrats.
I had so much stuff going on when they won. I'm not even sure what I sent you back. I cannot tell you. I said, here's a telling moment. When the Knicks won, everybody that was a Knicks fan lost their mind. They all lost their mind. Here's the telling point, right? That has dawned on me recently. Stephen A. Smith, he kind of knocked the Jalen Brunson trade or signing whatever. And he's humbly, to Stephen A. Smith's credit, he has humbly eaten crow. He said, I was wrong, and I'm happy about it. If you watch Stephen A. Smith on his interviews afterwards, that ain't the Stephen A. Smith that you see on ESPN. He got his hat on backwards. He's over there apologizing to the players. This man is so relieved and happy. It's like he let all the cool just go out. Stephen A. Smith.
You allowed yourself to be a fan for a while.
He was 10,000% a fan. I mean, it was beautiful because normally, you know, he's very, you know, strong and solid wood, saying it can be arrogant and, you know, even offensive and things like that. When the Knicks won all that crap was a win. He was like, yo, thank you. I'll take whatever you got to give me. Jalen Brunson gives him crap every time he sees him. Yeah, you didn't believe in me, basically. And just walks on. Stephen says, I'll take that. Give it to me. I don't care. We got the win. Now, there was a female and WNBA legend, what's her name? Becky Hammond.
Okay.
She said Jalen Brunson was not a 1A player. And she says, well, I'm open for y'all to prove me wrong. Okay, yeah, he is that guy now. Okay, whatever. Instead of saying, you know what, humbly, I underestimated this dude. She's still like trying to, you know, got that little, swag on her shoulder where she's like, yeah, okay, y'all won, so what? Okay, I'm wrong, so what? You know what? Just give it up for him. You counted him out. He never counted himself out. You know the one guy that actually said the Knicks were going to win? And I'm not talking when they were doing good. Way back in the early part of the season, the one guy, I don't know anybody, one guy that said the Knicks are going to have a real shot at this, John Sally. He predicted that the Knicks would possibly win the whole thing. I don't know where he got that from.
Probably saw the same thing that you were mentioning. A team that has camaraderie, has the ability to come together because they've been playing with each other for so long. Right. That means something. I mean, granted, you can find a new team, and by the end of the season, have a team that's this cohesive unit. But it's another thing when that cohesive unit starts from the very beginning.
You know what? I got a friend of mine who's a friend of his. I'm gonna have to send John Sally a shout out and say, yo, thank you for believing in this team. Because it was, he was like, honestly, of all the people in the media, when Jalen Brooks was on that team, he was the only one that said, yep, the Knicks actually can do this. And he broke down why, but everybody breaks down why. You can make a plausible argument about anything. He was right.
Well, I mean, personally, I think, the biggest thing is that, as I said before, the going into the fourth quarter, they just did not have the will to give up. Even the first two games that they won, they were going into the third quarter, they were tied 7-7. Going into the third quarter of the first game, they were tied 76-76. Or coming out, going into the fourth quarter. The only time they led was going into fourth quarter of Game 7 or Game 2, going into the fourth quarter. They led 84-75. Even that, the win was marginal, 105-104. But they just never gave up. All the way to the very end, they poured their heart out onto that court and allowed at the end the score be the score.
Well, you know what? I'm looking at these stats, and Game 3 is when the Spurs won. Spurs were leading in the fourth quarter, and they were leading going into the fourth quarter. They didn't give up the whole fourth quarter. They won. But other than that, every game, the Knicks came back. And, and it shows like immovable object against unstoppable force. The Knicks were an unstoppable force. The Spurs were not an immovable object. And that's just what it was,
Well, I think you need to pour yourself a small little drink.
A small little one.
Or a big one. Or however size you want to pour.
It's the Knicks. Fuck that. Oh, sorry. Oops.
To the Knicks and the championship that they thought would not be.
It's a good day, huh?
Yes. So join us on our next episode. We're going to continue to go down our whiskeys that we tried during our donut episode. The next one's going to be the bourbon, I believe.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
We'll sit there and do our tasting on the bourbon. Just specific, straightforward tasting with a new topic of conversation.
That will be fun.
And join us next time.
All right. See you next time.